For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their own automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. Well, welcome everyone out there across the great fruited plains of Long Island, you driving denizens. This is Peter Crouch, the one and only host of Crash Course Radio. Welcome to Crash Course Radio, the only radio station, I shouldn't say radio station. Radio station's 103.9. Anyway, still recovering from my surgery. So as you all know, if you've been listening to the program, I was involved in my own fender bender back in August. And they just got around to cut me open a couple weeks ago. That was a heck of an experience. Anybody that's been through that understands. Not a lot of fun. Price we pay for people that don't want to pay attention to driving on the road. This individual decided that the phone was more important than my car. And, we ended up meeting each other on the roadway. Suffice it to say, I'm well on my way to recovery now. Thank goodness. I'll be starting a little PT and whatever else that all incurs. So welcome to Crash Course Radio. All right. I am Peter Crouch, the host of Crash Course Radio. I'm also the founder and owner of Collision Services Network, collisionservicenetwork.com. All right. We originated about 3.5 years ago. All right. Again, if you've been listening to the program, you know that collisionservicesnetwork.com is the place that you need to go. All right. When what you need is reliable service with respect to what? Auto body, personal injury attorney, and of course, independent insurance brokers. All right. And that's what we've been doing here for almost over 3.5 years now. We've been helping a lot of folks, especially since we've come on the air. We've been on the air over a year now. We'll be here for another year. All right. And I can't say enough how much I enjoy getting behind this mic every Tuesday afternoon and talking to you fine folks out there. All right. And hopefully that, we're listening. Well, it's not even hopefully. I know that what we've been doing. All right. Hey, you know the mantra here too, right? What do we say all the time? You listen to the program, we're giving you knowledge and information you need and can use and advice you can trust. All right, it's unbiased, unfiltered information. What do we mean by that? Well, it used to be you only had 2 sources, right? You had the insurance company and the auto body, or maybe Uncle Louie or Aunt Sally or something. And neither one of those were usually very unbiased and probably not very reliable. All right, thanks to collisionservicenetwork.com and Crash Course Radio, we're cutting through all the minutia and we're giving it to you black and white and straight up. All right. So now the folks have a place where they can come and listen and get informed and have the information to make the right decisions when you need that type of service. All right. And like we've said before here on the radio, unfortunately, statistically, we are all going to need that right service about every 10 years, all right? Hey, before we get into the meat and potatoes here, so you can reach us. This is a live show, 631-451-1039. If you want to be part of the program, you have something to add, you have a question, an idea, a concern, right? An interest, 631-451-1039. You want to comment on anything that I'm saying? All right, folks, we are available on Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, and YouTube. All right, Spotify, really cool stuff. That's that podcasting. All right, so if that's your gig, you can go there and you can find me there as well. All right, we usually roll a lot of the radio segments, a lot of the radio program over to that. All right. But we plan on expanding that. All right. And trying to add on to that and kind of, add a little more content to that. All right. So Facebook, Instagram, Spotify, Anchor, YouTube, Instagram, really cool stuff. I mean, you can really go on there. If you're not following us, please do so. Go to Instagram and go to collisionservicenetwork.com. You can follow me. I like to get to the folks directly there. In fact, I just released 2 more videos last night. All right. Right now, what we've been doing is a little thing called Quick Tip. All right. Where I basically blurt out to the folks some interesting stuff that I think you guys need to know. All right, information about certain topics and issues that are of concern regarding anything in the insurance world or the auto body world. All right, so that keeps evolving. That's a really good thing there. Facebook, hey, if you're a Facebook person, I don't know what to tell you. You got to go to our Facebook page. All right, we're doing amazing stuff there. Thanks to my my amazing social media manager, Anthony. Also doubles as my engineer here. He's sitting in the booth waving now, Anthony. All right, couldn't do it without him. All right, we've really managed to hit the stratosphere. All right, folks, and this is all good stuff. All right, because we continue to grow, and as we continue to grow, that means we continue to benefit you, the consumer. All right, which is what we're doing here. All right, we're supporting and promoting the privately owned and operated auto body industry, and most importantly, we're educating the consumer, right, to your rights and expectations as it pertains to your auto policy. Right, auto insurance policy. And also, we're informing you and giving you information and knowledge you need and can use and advice you can trust, right? And you can reach us at 631-452-2569. All right, that'll bring you to me, and we'll be able to help you out directly, whether that's, you're involved in a claim and you just want to make sure that you're being given the right information, the right advice, so you might have a liability issue and you just want a second opinion. All right, whatever it is, folks, you can reach out. CollisionServiceNetwork.com is here for you, all right, and as well as supporting the auto body industry across Long Island, and we hope to be statewide eventually. Statewide on that issue, we are still plowing ahead on the legislative front. All right, I'm not going to release any names here as far as what legislators are working with us. But suffice it to say, it is an assemblyman and a New York State senator. All right, we're real excited about that because no one else is doing that, and this is going to be really good for the folks and really good for the industry. All right, it's going to greatly enhance the profitability of the auto body shops, which, of course, that translates to the consumer, right? Because this way you don't have to worry about being hit with any offset charges or anything like that. All right, so all good stuff. As I said, I am Peter Crouch, owner and founder of Collision Service Network, and of course the originator of Crash Course Radio. Right, first of its kind, it's never been done before, and we couldn't have been more excited or proud to be leading the way and blazing a trail on that front. So let's do a little recap. First, we got about 2 minutes and 40 seconds, so we're going to kick things off a little early here with the question of the day. All right, I'm in a real festive mood here. All right, sun's out. That's like a rare thing around here in Long Island in the winter. I don't know what that is. Maybe somebody can call in and give us the 5-0 on that. It just seems like other parts of the country, even though it's winter, they get a lot of sunshine. Here in Long Island, it seems like we get more clouds and then lately rain. All right, so on top of it being winter, we get stuck with the gloom and doom. So. But anyway, I'm feeling pretty good, so I want to give some stuff away today, all right? And with the question of the day, we get callers. Right? I got the smartest listeners. Crash Course Radio, we have the smartest listeners on any program, all right? And they get smarter and smarter because they keep listening to us every Tuesday afternoon. All right, so let's go to it. Let's do an easy one today. All right, let's do... all right, here we go. Ready? Everybody get their thinking cap on. Open your ears. Here we go. Question of the day. My insurance company. The good old, big old, bad insurance company. All right. You got in an accident. Your car's sitting at a body shop. All right. Hopefully it's at one of our shops. Should be at a Collision Service Network shop. But if it's not, all right, and the insurance company calls you up and you get this here. Hey, listen, we looked at your car and it looks like your vehicle's a total loss. What does that mean? All right, somebody give me a call, 631-451-1039. All right, give us a call. And, like I said, you just got in an accident. You've had an insurance claim filed. Your car's sitting over the body shop. All of a sudden, the adjuster gives you a call and says, hey, I looked at your car and looks like it's going to be a total loss. What does that mean? Right? What does it mean if you get that call and they tell you it costs a total? All right, 631-451-1039. Let's get some callers. All right, let's have a little fun today like we always try and do here. We're going to be giving away $10 gift cards to 7-Eleven. Hey, who could use that, huh? And a lot of really cool merchandise. All right, so give us a buzz. Let's kick things off. All right, 631-451-1039 brings you into the studio to talk to little old me. Hey, folks, I can't believe we're wrapping up the first segment, but time flies when you're having a blast. All right, so I will see everyone on the other side of the break. All right, welcome back, everyone, to Crash Course Radio. I am your host, your humble host, Peter Crouch. Welcome to the show. If you've been a frequent listener, well, thank you for your support. All right, if you're just stopping by today, you're turning the dial and you're hearing my voice and thinking, I got nothing else to do. What is this guy all about? Well, welcome to the show. Stick around. You're going to learn a little bit something. All right, I'm sure you'll be scratching the top of your head at the end of the show saying, wow, I never thought about that. No, I never actually considered that. All right, so that's what we're doing here. We're jogging the memory. We're doing what's called a brain jog. All right, that's what I like to say. Brain jogging here at Crash Course Radio. And I hope that's what we're doing anyway. That's what we're trying to do, right? We're trying to jog everyone's brain on a very mundane and not too exciting subject matter, right? That is, of course, the business of insurance and the auto body industry. And the auto body industry I don't know. I don't think I'd put that in the same vein. Insurance is just boring. I think we can all agree on that. Okay, it's one of those things where you go, God, I got to pay my insurance, or I got to get insurance. But auto body, it's a little colorful, right? I mean, no pun intended. Colorful painting. But insurance, like I like to say here at Crash Course Radio, you're not going to find people talking about that around a campfire or on the coffee table. All right. I even think if it came down to total boredom and nobody had anything else to do, you'd probably really be at wit's end here to try and find people that are going to start talking about insurance, right? But we talk about it here, Crash Course Radio, because it is important. All right. It does impact all of our lives. All right, in one fashion or another, mostly indirectly, right? Because we know insurance is something we need to exist, right? Without insurance, that's why we like to say we're not demonizing the insurance industry. We understand they have a role to play. However, it is the opinion of Crash Course Radio and Collision Service Network that role should be very minimal, right? Should be minimized. But that being said, all right, it's very important, and I just don't believe people really invest the amount of time or consideration that we probably really should, right? We probably spend more time looking at a TV at, Best Buy or PC Richards or something like that than we do when it comes to buying an insurance policy, right? I'm sure there's some people out there that are a lot more serious. Maybe you have a lot of assets or, a lot of business interests, all right? So maybe that is more of a front and center issue. But most of us, it's a passe thing, right? Let's admit. Until, bam, accident. All right? Now everybody's like, holy boop. What do I do now? Car got wrecked. I don't know what I'm going to do here, right? I know Uncle Tony's down the road. He fixes our cars all the time, oil change, brakes, the whole 9 yards. But I don't know what the heck I'm going to do about this. Looks like I need, fenders and hoods and light. So this is why here on Crash Course Radio, I try and emphasize that we as consumers, right, as people, right, we need to, as people who own vehicles, I should expound on that. That sounded a little retarded. People who obviously own cars and trucks and other means of transportation, we need to take a more vested interest in these things, all right? And I talked about this last week, all right? Last week we spoke about, just a little wrap up here. All right, last week I spoke about the evolution of the inspection process, right? The negative impact of the DRP All right, insurance company initiatives and DRP, you know, if you've been listening to me, it's the direct repair programs or insurance-sponsored shops. Avoiding photo inspections at all costs. All right, and I touched on technologies and materials, all right, and how they're influencing the repair versus replacement decisions that we have to make in the auto body industry today. All right, and also as cost drivers, making sense of an estimate. All right, and I tried to explain that in the context of, you know, you, the customer, walking into a body shop, right, for the first time, and maybe you got a dent on your fender, or it looks like a little dent on your door, and next thing you know, the guy's handing you a bill for $5,000, and you're standing there incredulous, looking at this guy like, you know, does he think I'm deaf, dumb, and blind, or you know, or just a fool? But I'm not really feeling it, right? So I was attempting to add some context to that by explaining that these cars today have so many different types of materials, right? Which again ties back to the beginning of what I started saying here just a few seconds ago about why it's so important that we understand our vehicles and we have more of a vested interest. All right, gone are the days, folks, where you just want to, you know, run down the road and you know, drop it off at the body shop around the corner. Not a good idea anymore. All right, and certainly what's come out of the pandemic era, all right, we saw that there was an entire paradigm shift, all right, in the car industry. A lot of people, you know, deviating away from, transitioning away from, you know, leasing, these type of things, and going back to ownership. And then we had a tremendous impact on the used car market because of that, right? A lot of people went out shopping for cars. They couldn't turn those lease cars in fast enough. Why? Because of uncertainty. If you're leasing a car, the lease is up in 2 years, buddy. I need my car back. Now what? Now you got to come up with another $3,000 to get into a new car, or you rolling. They got all these gimmick plans, you know, sign and drive. Yeah, you sign and drive, and your payment's $300, $400, $500 a month, right? So with that type of shift in people's perspective, you know, it's a good time to really start reevaluating things like, you know, the auto body world, right? Because as I said last week. And I love making this analogy, this comparison, right? And it's a reality. You can't not admit it. It's a reality with all of us, right? That is, if I grab somebody, if I do a man in the street and I'm walking down, I just grab you and say, hey, I just told you your brakes are shot. You got to get the car fixed, right? You got to get brakes done. You need an oil change and maybe an inspection. Oh, yeah, I take it over to Louis. Man, Louis been fixing my family's cars. Great. Now, if I grab another person, right, and I turn around and say, bam, your wife just called you up, car's in a wreck. What do you mean? Car just got wrecked. It was in an auto body. It was in an accident. Needs auto body work. Where are you going? Right? Probably 85% of us are going to stand there with the deer in the headlight look. And that's okay, you know, and that's, you know, there's a lot of reasons for that, folks. But here at Crash Course Radio, you know, we're crushing that. Right? We're piercing the glass ceiling, as somebody infamously said years ago on a different subject. But we're piercing the glass ceiling on that whole topic, right? Aren't we? Certainly we are. Because we're giving people, we're alerting people, we're informing people that those days are gone, right? You need to know, because you can't rely on the insurance company, right? You're going to rely on the insurance company, right? What did I tell you about that? Right? You call the insurance, you call in the claim. You know, years ago you'd call in your claim, they'd be like, all right, Mr. Smith, good luck. They couldn't care where you got the car fixed. If you got to fix it, a guy working out of his garage, you know, or a guy working in his grandma's basement, they didn't care. Today, they care because they figured out they can control costs and control the claim. All right, but you're not going to be a victim of that because that's ignorance, and ignorance with the insurance companies is something that they love to capitalize. Right, but you folks listening to Crash Course Radio, you're not going to be ignorant, and you're not going to be a victim of ignorance because you're going to be informed. You're going to have the knowledge. You're going to be able to tell the insurance guy, hey, that's okay. I went to collisionservicenetwork.com, and I got an amazing auto body shop, and they're going to fix my car, negotiate it, and handle everything for me. Right? And you're going to avoid that pitfall. All right? But ties back to the beginning of this conversation, folks. That's why we need to understand this. All right? You need to get in touch with your car when it comes to the auto body shop. We're all in touch with our cars with the mechanic, right? Because that is a need-to industry, right? You need to do that. You don't have an option. Auto body is an as-need. All right? Think about it, right? It's as needed. I mean, you'll see some guy that got wrapped in the rear. I love seeing this. And he's got duct tape. You know, the bumper's all duct taped up. The headlights painted over red. I mean, the taillight. and you just know what happened to that guy, right? He got blasted at a stop sign or something, and he took the check and ran. And he had some guy, wrap up the car, and he put the money in his pocket. I mean, that's how really ridiculous it can be. All right, but we're not going to do that here at Crash Course Radio. Hey, 631-451-1039. Come on, let's go. I know we got somebody out there that wants to win a freebie here, folks. We're giving away $10 7-Eleven gift cards. We're giving away a lot of really cool stuff today. All right, and listen, I am the fairest guy in the world. You don't even have to be right on the answer. You just call in, give us an answer, and you're going to win some really cool stuff. All right? So 631-451-1039. Let's hear from somebody out there. Your insurance company's telling you cause a total. What does that mean? All right, I'll see you guys on the other side of the break. For over 35 years, the Cacciatore family has provided state-of-the-art auto collision repairs. V&J Auto Body is not only certified to repair all makes and models, V&J is one of the few auto body repair shops certified by Tesla to repair and recalibrate their own automobiles, as well as other electric and hybrid vehicles. Detailed repairs combined with award-winning concierge service makes V&J the only choice for your collision repair needs. V&J will pick up your automobile wherever on Long Island you are, provide you with a rental, and deliver your vehicle when the job is complete. Too good to be true? Visit VJAutobody.com. That's VJAutobody.com. Come over and meet the crew. VJ Auto Body's 2 state-of-the-art facilities are equipped with the latest technologies in auto repair. Let V&J communicate with your insurance company for you and deliver back to you a detailed, perfectly repaired vehicle. Contact V&J Auto Body by visiting VJAutobody.com or call 631-226-0070. That's 631-226-0070. All right, I love that little drum roll and that intro there, the low rider. We're not low riding here. Crash Course Radio, welcome back. I'm your host, Peter Crouch. Crash Course Radio, the one and only radio show that speaks directly to the folks every Tuesday afternoon. And we are live, so if you'd like to be on the program or participate in the program, 631-451-1039 brings you into this little old studio here to talk to little old me. Question of the day is still hanging out there. My insurance company, all right, you just had a loss, all right? Just had an accident. You were involved in an accident. You filed an insurance claim. Insurance company went out. They sent the guy out there. They looked at it. You got a phone call, and the guy or gal is telling you, hey, he looked at your car, and you know what, Mr. Smith, caused a total loss. What does that mean? Somebody give me a call, 631-451-1039. We're going to hook you up with some really cool stuff, including a really neat $10 gift card to 7-Eleven. All right? Hey, everybody loves 7-Eleven. And some really cool merchandise as well. All right, so let's get somebody to call in and let's see how smart our listeners are. We know how smart they are. Smartest out there. All right. Oh, we're also continuing we resurrected the old Nancy Reagan theme from back in the 80s, Just Say No. Of course, she was talking about drugs. But here at Crash Course Radio, we're talking about, of course, photo inspections. Just say no, folks. That's all you have to do. It's as simple as that. Insurance companies on the phone, and they start pressuring you. Hey, we're going to send a little app over to you, and you take a couple photos and send them up to us, and we're going to give you an estimate and a check. Sounds great, right? Wow, cool. Wow, I got my estimate and check. That's wonderful. Yeah, we'll get it to you in 24 hours. Get that money electronically right into that account, Mr. Jones. Get you an estimate in 2 days. Right. The only problem is that estimate, okay, is seriously, and I mean seriously, all right, missing most of the damage, folks. All right, so in plain speak, what that means is they didn't fulfill their promise to you, which was to fully indemnify you. Fancy little word there, legal term. Basically means they didn't pay you all the money that you should be getting on your claim. Now, listen, face it, this isn't an investment scheme here, right, with insurance. You don't pay your premium year over year and then have a loss and try and get as big a return on that. That would be really cool, right? Oh, let me see. I paid insurance premium at $3,000 a year for the last 10 years. That's $30,000. Let me see what kind of a return I can get on that. No, it doesn't work like that. But it does work that they're supposed to write an estimate that reflects the extent, all right, of the damages, both dollar-wise and repairability-wise. And that's not going to happen, folks, if you send in photos. So what we're saying here is you just say no. When they start with that, hey, you send photos, you damn, nah, not going to happen. What do you mean? Not going to happen. And then you tell them what is going to happen. You tell them they're going to go to Collision Service Network Auto Body Shop, and they can go over there, and one of our amazing network partners, their staff is going to handle all that for you. And they'll have to send their guy out to take pictures of your damaged car. And that's cool, right? Because that's what that guy gets paid to do. You don't get paid. You're not a professional insurance adjuster. You're not licensed by the state of New York. All right? You don't understand what it is to estimate the vehicle damages. It looks like we have a caller on the phone. Bill from Mastic. Bill, welcome to Crash Course Radio. You have an answer for us, Bill?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure what you're talking about. When a car is totaled, usually that means that the cost to fix your car exceeds the value of your car. So therefore, it's totaled.
All right. Bing, 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 bing. All right. How about that sound effect, Bill? We're on a shoestring budget here, so we don't have any fancy equipment. But, Bill, that is a very sound answer. We're going to accept that. I looked over at the judges, and they're shaking their head. That sounds good. All right. So, Bill, that is a good answer. That's an 85% correct answer. It's 100% correct for most parts. But Bill is absolutely right, folks. When you get that call and you hear an adjuster or claims rep turn around and tell you, hey, your car's a total, you should perk up. All right? Your eyes should open. Your ears should get really, really, really wide, too. All right? Because that's a serious phone call. All right? Now, it can be serious for many different ways, right? If it's a newer car, you're very concerned. If it's an older car, you're very concerned too, because guess what? You better make sure that you're going to get what's fair and reasonable when it comes to the market value of the car. If it's a newer car, you're very concerned because why? You may have a loan on the car. It could be a lease car. All right. So again, you want to make sure that that's something that you fully understand. All right. And that's what we're doing here on Crash Course Radio. And if you don't, you can go to collisionservicenetwork.com and you can take your time and read all about it. I'm going to fill everybody in on it here. But Bill, that was a great answer, Bill. See, we got the smartest listeners out there. We really do.
Just so you know, if you have a lease, you should get that additional insurance that covers whatever the value of the car does, whatever the insurance doesn't cover on the
gap insurance.
Yeah, gap.
Yeah. So, Bill, just so for everybody listening out there, Bill's talking about, you sign a lease, and what happens when you sign a lease, a little complicated, right? You're not actually leasing the car for what the stated value is. So there's a gap between what that value might be at the time, God forbid you have a loss, versus what it was at the time the contract was drawn up. So they used to have a thing called gap insurance. All right. Thankfully, New York State stepped in many years ago, and now gap insurance is mandatory. It's not even an option. It has to be built into your payment plan. All right. But yeah, that's definitely a very good concern. Just for the folks out there too, Bill, you included, there are a lot of insurance companies today that offer total loss coverage now. All right. Basically, it's a modified form of that gap insurance that offers you a little bit more of a cushion. So if the value comes in a little below what maybe you were expecting, all right, you have some flexibility there to negotiate that with the insurance guys. Hey, Bill, appreciate that. You stay on the line, and my engineer will be more than happy to capture your vitals, and we'll get you out some really nice stuff, including that $10 gift card to 7-Eleven.
Take care now.
All right, man. Thank you. Yep. So, folks, there you go. Like I say, man, we got the smartest listeners here on Crash Course Radio. Bill was dead on. He's spot on with that. Total loss, not a good thing, right? Listen, some people laugh. I want the car total. It's junk box. Okay, I get it. I hear that all the time. I work in a body shop. Problem is, what kind of money you're getting for the junk box, and is the insurance company, are they going to look at it as a junk box or just a means of transportation? Believe it or not, there's a big difference there. All right. Back in my day when I started, we would settle totals, and we would actually turn around and say to the person, we're going to give you station car settlement. This is hysterical. What that basically meant is I'd look at the car and I'd say to the guy, what are you doing with this thing? You going back and forth to the railroad? You're taking away, all right, how about I offer you $500? You imagine that today? $500. That was called a station car settlement. Right? So you were just basically offering the person some money because in the end, it wasn't anything that had a lot of intrinsic value. Well, forget it. That went out the window decades ago for obvious reasons. I mean, we probably putting the screws to people on that deal. But that's the insurance company. Right? Always looking ways to what? Come on, everybody. You know the whole deal. What the insurance companies always doing, they look at ways to cut costs, where, when, and often. And guess when it starts? The minute we file a claim with those guys, all right? Little rascals. All right, remember, they're a business, and they're good at that. And that's okay because they're a business, right? But you are a customer. You are a party to a contract, and you deserve and have a right to know what your expectations and rights are under that contract. All right, and that's what we do here at Crash Course Radio. So let's elaborate a little more on the question and the answer. All right, so it absolutely does mean that your car is not repairable. All right, this can happen either because the damages are too severe and the vehicle may not be able to be restored safely to pre-loss condition. The damages are extensive and there may be hidden damages that would prevent completely and safely repairing the vehicle, all right, after repairs have begun, or the repair estimate has exceeded the vehicle's retail value. That's what Bill said. All right. Here in New York State, Reg 64 is the guiding authority once again, which states clearly once repair costs reach or exceed 75% of the vehicle's retail base value, the vehicle should be declared a total loss. In all cases, it is at the insurance company's discretion. Folks, I spoke about this. All right. We you know what? We're going to dovetail onto this in the last segment. This is very important stuff. It's always at the insurance company's discretion, all right? And we tell people that all the time over at my shop. I say, I don't determine repairability. Insurance guys do. Listen, I can influence that. Absolutely, right? I'm a professional. I'm an ex-insurance guy. But in the end, they determine that, all right? And I'm going to elaborate a little more on that on the other side of the break and tell you why that can be a serious pitfall, all right, for folks to get caught up in it. All right, so I will talk a little more about that and talk about some guests that'll be on the show in the future. See you in a little bit. All right, and there's the low rider coming at you, hot and heavy and fast. This is Peter Crouch, Crash Course Radio, and I can't believe we are into the final segment. Time just flies when you're having a blast here, as anyone who listens to the show can testify to that. Hey, this is a live show, folks, so like I said, if you want to be part of the show or if you want to contribute to Bill's answer, all right, the question was, my insurance company is telling me my car is a total loss. All right, so Bill answered the question correctly, and we're going to get him out some nice stuff. If anybody else out there has another perspective on that topic, then by all means, please give us a call here at the radio station, and that would be 451. Hold on a second. Trying to see the number here. Do we have the number, engineer? My engineer is getting the engineer got the number up there. Thank you, engineer. 631-451-1039. I tell you, I hit 60 and I can't even remember a phone number from 5 seconds ago. 631-451-1039. All right, if you've been involved in this situation, total loss, all right, and you want to call in and let the folks know what your outcome was, or if you're experiencing that, or you're just a little confused, give us a call. Hey, in the final segment, you know, I always say here, we are frustrating the heck out of the insurance guys with one arm tied behind my back. I tell you, it is talent on loan from God. I don't know where it comes from, and we're having more fun than should be legally allowed. All right. Let's you know what? Let me get back into the total loss thing, because this is like I started to say at the end of the last segment. All seriousness, folks, if you hear that word, your car's a total loss, should never be a knee-jerk reaction to that. All right. Your next statement should never be, "Oh, okay, what do I do next?" There's the buzzer. Bad answer. All right. Good answer for the insurance guy. That's what they want to hear. All right. Your response should be more along the lines like, okay, well, I'd like to see a detailed financial evaluation, if you want to sound fancy. Otherwise, you can just tell them, I'd like to see the actual cash valuation report, please. I want to see the whole thing in full detail. I also want to have a chance to review this with my body shop, especially if you're getting your car fixed at a Collision Service Network shop, you don't even have to worry about this, all right? Because those guys, they're going to already be ahead of the curve on this. They're going to already have anticipated this. They're going to already be working for you, advocating for you. They probably would have already been proactive and let the insurance company rep know, or the adjuster know, hey, we need to see all the paperwork. I want to see any adjustments that were made for previous damage, prior damage, related prior damage. I want to see the conditioning report. All right. I want to see the whole thing here. All right. Because all of our shops are going to have you sign a designated representative. All right. It's called the DR. And that then transfers the power of the contract from you to them. In other words, it's like they're standing in your shoes on behalf of you when it comes to all matters pertaining to your claim. All right. That's why we have you sign that when you come into the shop. Hey, so I started to say insurance company discretion, right? Ultimately, folks, it's always at the insurance company's discretion when it comes to totaling a car. The insurance company determines the repairability of the vehicle, not the body shop. Insurance company may declare any vehicle total loss for any degree or extent of damages so long as you, the insured, are not left in a worse financial position than prior to the accident. And here, folks, is where it becomes very critical that your body shop, okay, is of the caliber of a Collision Services Network shop. All right, that's why you're going to make sure you go there, collisionservicesnetwork.com, and choose one of our amazing partners, because if you get in this kind of a situation, all right, believe me, you're going to want to know you have a body shop that you can rely on that's got your back. All right, and don't tell me you got a lawyer for injuries and he's going to help you. That ain't happening. All right, I was a claim rep for many, many years. I handled injury claims. I handled liability. All right, believe me, folks, these guys, they're not in it for the long haul. Personal injury attorneys. They want nothing to do with property damage. They're going to simply tell you got to deal with your insurance company. All right, so that's not a good answer either. But that's a very significant point there. All right? They're going to total the car. They can do a constructive total and say, hey, we're going to constructively total this. We don't really know what's going to happen inside. We get everything ripped apart. We might need rails, transmission. That's great. But guess what? If you do that, I'm going to be left holding the bag for money. Well, what do you mean? Well, I have a loan on the car and you're not covering it. Well, that's not our responsibility. That's true. But guess what? If you fix the car, I get my car back and I don't have to worry about not having a car and still making a payment. So, again, you got to pay attention to details. And this is why in the beginning of the program today, I emphasize that we all need to be more invested in the outcome when it comes to our cars today, folks, when it comes to body work, auto body. All right? Seriously, we really can. We're making a big investment in these cars. Leasing's kind of gone out the window. I don't think it's ever going to be as prevalent again. Cars, it's ironic because with technology today, and the different materials, substrates that cars are being built with, folks, you're talking 100,000 miles now today. All right, back in the 70s, that's a car that would have been in the boneyard already, right? I mean, let's face it, 100,000 miles, people would have laughed you out of the dealership. 100,000 miles, you'll be buying another car. Not today, right? You own a Honda, a Hyundai. I mean, you can literally drive these cars for a couple 100,000 miles. So that combined with the different substrates and materials, you could conceivably be owning this car for many, many decades. All right, so we're talking about intrinsic value now. We're talking about an investment where cars used to be more or less kind of looked at, it's going to be a headache eventually, and then, dead in the boneyard. So another reason why we really want to start focusing on this more, and I'd like to see in a perfect scenario where, and of course through Crash Course Radio, we're going to affect that, where people are saying to themselves, "Wow, you know what? That's really true. Why don't I give more consideration and thought about that? My car gets banged up. Why don't I really care about who's going to fix it and how it's going to be fixed and whether or not, down the road I can rely on, the repairability of that car based on the auto body shop that handled it. All right. And when it comes to a total loss, God forbid, all right, but God forbid if you're in an accident and the insurance companies calls you up and you're hearing this word total, all right, or constructive total, right? Hey, they're looking at it going, I don't really think we want to get involved with that. And why? Because it's more convenient for them. It's also monetarily incentivized for them. Remember what I said? They look for ways to cut costs where, when, and often, folks. And in a total loss, that gives them a great opportunity. Guess why? Because they make a lot of money in salvage today. Lots of money. So they have a huge incentive to not maybe fix your car. All right, but you're not going to let that happen because you're going to call CollisionServiceNetwork.com and we're going to step in and we're going to get you the help you need. All right, but the insurance company can constructively total physically damaged vehicle, total loss. I just talked about that. But you have to be fully indemnified. All right. That is if the vehicle, now listen, if the vehicle is repairable without the likelihood of any hidden damages or unforeseen circumstances that may render the vehicle unrepairable once repairs are begun, then the insurance company should negotiate toward the goal of reaching an agreed price to repair your vehicle. All right? That's why, folks, make sure if you need this kind of service, you go on to collisionservicenetwork.com and get a body shop on your side that works for you. All right? Never, ever allow the insurance company to tell you where to get your car fixed. And please, all kidding aside with the Nancy Reagan thing, remember, just say no to photo inspections. All right? They result in a less than fair settlement of your claim. They have a 98% supplement rate, which means you're going to have more downtime out of your car. It's a big hassle. Don't do it. It's only helping the insurance guys. It's not helping you. All right. Got about a minute and 15 here. I want to close up by saying next week we're going to have a really cool guest in the studio, so please tune in. All right, we're going to have a gentleman from one of our Collision Services Network shops, all right, and he's going to be on the air with me, and we're going to be we're going to take a deep dive, right? Everybody likes to say that. Remember all the real cliches and anacronyms from the 90s? Take a deep dive. We're going to empower. Well, we're going to take a deep dive and empower. How's that? All right, so tune in here next Tuesday. All right, because we're going to have a lot of fun with Steve, all right, as we talk about the challenges, opportunities facing the industry, and, how we deal with customers and their perception of the auto body. All right. Hey, folks, been a lot of fun as usual. Everybody enjoy the rest of your week. Drive safe. All right, and we will see you back here again next Tuesday, live as always. And everybody enjoy your week.
The low rider is a little higher.